Neopets. For those of you who don't know about Neopets, it's a web browser game that was started in 1999 and continues till this day. It has had its ups and downs, but as of this year, it's improving and everyone's really happy about it. If you look up Neopets, you'll see the range of people talking about it because it's getting updated and a new company has bought it, and they've shown to be quite transparent, and they've released their developer notes, which I think are really interesting to read, talking about what they're going to be working on next. So let's get into it. One of the first things I'm going to discuss is UCs. For those of you that don't know, UCs are Unconverted Pets, and basically what this means is they're the old art style. Converted pets are the new art style, and unconverted is the old art style. Basically, in 2007, Neopets made a decision to convert pets. They were converted willingly. I'm pretty sure users could choose, but they didn't know they could not choose to convert them back. So that was a bit of a problem, especially because everyone really loved the old art style, but Neopets were going for a layered style, meaning they wanted to be able to put clothes on your Neopets, and that can be done with the old art style. This did lead to a lot of problems because unconverted pets became really, really rare and people were desperate to get their hands on them, whether it was through paying people, which Neopets did not recommend, or through trading them. And when you traded pets, it usually took months and months and months to get the ones you wanted. So it was a huge chain of people. Just say you had person A and person B, they would do a trade, and person B might trade with person C and they trade, and person C may, it goes on forever for people getting their dream pets. So basically what happened when someone reported that their pet had been stolen or hacked, they had to reverse this whole chain, which was really horrible for everyone involved. Number one, if you've been trading for months and you didn't even realize you were trading with a hacked pet, like you traded it, it was fine, and then you traded again. But because this happened, the whole trade system, or everyone that went through and traded that pet, their trade was undone. So this was really frustrating for people, and obviously really frustrating for someone that got hacked when they had this pet they've had forever. So I watched a video by Izzy, and I'll link her below, and she did a really good job talking about this. But let me just put on my glasses, because what did I put in my script to talk about next? Yes, okay, I've got it. Alright, I just don't wear these because there's camera glare, and I'm pretty sure it's really annoying, and I feel like when I over rely on the script, I don't talk as well as I could. So I feel like to stop myself from overlooking at the script, I take my glasses off because I can't do it. It's impossible. Anyway, so I'm just gonna put them on occasionally to just read something and then go no. So basically I'm going to talk about games and other aspects. Other aspects meaning, what do I mean by that? Oh yes, they had, okay, I've got it. So what I'm going to start on is the Wheel of Monotony. The Wheel of Monotony is not for the impatient. I literally thought it was broken the first time I used it because it's this wheel that goes around and round and round and it doesn't stop. I was like, what is happening? And basically I ended up reading the text and it said, go and read a book or do something else because it takes a long time. I did wait a long time and nothing happened. Apparently, looking it up, it should take 75 minutes. I did read Reddit comments saying that it took longer than that they went to bed and they woke up and it was still running. Apparently, according to the 2021 developer notes, they did say they had fixed that issue so that if you went to another tab, it wouldn't keep running forever. And obviously one of the other issues they fixed is Flash. So it was run by Flash and it did take developers a while to fix that because Flash is a programming language, and what was happening is that Flash control the timer to get it to stop. And so they had to write JavaScript to ensure that it could stop without Flash. What's next? So one of the things that did happen in 2015 is the profanity filter went off. And this is crazy because I'm pretty sure this happened on a Friday or Saturday, and people can just say whatever they want. They could name their pet whatever they want. They could say whatever they want. And people really, they really went with it. So, let's just take a moment to think about the developers and the moderators that would have had to come in on Monday and realize that the profanity filter was down. I imagine going through that and looking at it and being like, oh my God, that would have been a huge Monday for everyone. The next thing I'm going to talk about is pound surfing. So I remember doing pound surfing a lot. I still do it in the game now that I started playing it. Yeah, I only started playing it for this video. Not before that or anything. Look, it's the only place you can get a decently priced house these days. I don't own a house, but at least I own one of Neopets. And that's okay, I guess. Anyway, you did pound surfing when you wanted to find a different pet. Maybe you wanted to look for a certain species or one that was a higher level. But there were issues and there were problems with it. Basically, what happened is that pets would get stuck. So this was due to the combination of letters within their name. So people would usually manually search, but people end up finding smarter ways to search for all these pets, and this caused a huge problem. Most notably, someone found all the stuck pets in the pound. So these were the pets that had names where that would make them stuck, so certain letter combinations, and released them all, and they pretty much allowed people to go search for them. And this person got really annoyed when people were being selfish and taking more than one kind of rare pet. Izzy does a really good video on this, so I will link her below. Let's put my glasses on again. Oh, okay. Got it. Customization through HTML and CSS. I think this is the most exciting thing about Neopets. Customization and personalization was a massive thing with sites during this period, during the earlier period. I remember MySpace, I used to spend so long customizing my page and learning different things just to kind of change a layout of a HTML CSS template I got. And Neopets had the same thing going on, and I love that it still exists today, unlike MySpace, how they took that away. I digress though, that was a sad moment. But yeah, I've got to read so many articles about people saying they got into being a developer because of Neopets, or they got into coding because of Neopets, and I think that's an amazing thing we don't talk about with these sites enough. Basically, I did have a look through all the different things you customize, so your pet page, your gallery, your shop, and there were so many forms or on Neopets Reddit of people helping each other out, and I really love that. One of the things I thought was amazing was Neopets HTML guide. Neopets HTML guide was nice and simple and really easy. I would still recommend it for beginners. I think they did a really good job with it, and I think they need a huge clap. I even found a tweet by this guy saying how the Neopets HTML guide does not get enough praise. I'll try and find it and put it up on the screen. One of the other things I found was NeoCircles. It took me so long to find information on this. I basically found out about NeoCircles by going through the HTML guide, and then I realized when I got there it said, NeoCircles doesn't exist anymore, and I was like, this is something you could code on, what was it about? I found one article about it, but it didn't give me a clear view, and then I ended up finding a Reddit post, someone asking about it, and someone replied saying Neocycles was a way to connect shops together. So it was a page, maybe like I think similar shops, and you could basically go next and like look through people's stores. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, it took so long to find this information. I couldn't even believe I found it at first. I even got images, which was pretty exciting. I thought I would never get that. One of the last topics I did want to talk about is scripting. So Neopets has a huge scripting community, which I didn't realize before, and basically this scripting community uses Tamper Monkey or Grease Monkey. It is important to note that like scripting isn't always allowed, and not all scripting is good, and this can cause Neopets to either freeze your account and you could end up losing a lot of your items and progress. So I would use scripting with care. On the Neopets Reddit, they did a really good job of going through what scripts were and weren't allowed. I didn't realize that the thing I wanted to personally script wasn't allowed. So my character is stuck in the battle dome, and I have to click so many times to get this pet out of there. Like they have they only attack someone -3, like -3 of their point score, and this point score is 400 and something. Like, no. So I was trying to automate a script that would click that button for me so I could get my pet back. But I was going through the Neopets Reddit guide, and basically it was like, you go through and it's like, are you allowed to script this? And it was like, I was going through and it's like, does it click buttons for you? And it's like, yes. And they're like, and then it's like, that's not a good script. So my pet's gonna be stuck there forever, basically. So regardless of the rules, there are still a lot of scripts out there that people use that they shouldn't. So I would definitely like try and look it up and use scripts with care, because you can lose everything you've worked for in the game. Yeah, but that concludes my talk about Neopets. One of the things I do think they could improve on is accounts. I think this is going to be a massive issue with people coming back and wanting their accounts back. I don't know the best way for them to fix it. I know because all usernames have unique IDs. No, not usernames. All pets have unique IDs. I think this makes it harder, because usually when you try and get your account back somewhere, you're telling them, hey, this is my account, and you're telling them what you know about your account. For the life of me, I could never remember the names of my old Neopet pets, especially because they would have had like X's and O's and different letters. There's just no way I'd remember that at all. It just wouldn't be happening. So hopefully a lot of people can get their accounts back. I was on Reddit and there was a mix of people that were able to and some that weren't. But I mean, at least they don't die. You just log onto your account and feel really guilty because this animated character is looking at you with a sad face and saying it's hungry, but they never die. So it's going to be okay. Anyway, this is my wrap up. I think it's really exciting that Neopets is being renewed, and it's really cool to read all their technical notes. So here's to the future of Neopets.